What is going on, movie trivia Schmoedown fans? Welcome back to A Certain Point of View here on a Sunday evening, and we are here as Molly's got the gang signs up. If you're a patron, you know exactly what that means. If you're not, well, you're going to have to become a patron to find out what that means. But we are here on a Sunday evening, and it is myself, Molly, and Brian. As you can tell, Jill is not here at the moment. She may join us if she's able to. She may not be here. She had a good little vacation, her and Sean, and so she's still kind of on the high of a vacation. But we're here to talk some show now. We got some really cool things to talk about tonight. We're also going to be previewing this week's matches. The first official week of season 8 is underway. We have 3 big matches this week, and we'll be previewing them as well as with a guest. But before we get to him, Molly, Brian, how are you guys doing on this Sunday? How was your weekend?
Meh.
Brian, anything better?
This weekend has been wild. I got my vax yesterday, and that thing kicked my ass. And like I slept for the whole entire day. And then I did this weird thing today called exercising. And yeah, that was quite an experience.
How does that feel like?
I don't know. I was just like, but afterwards, I was like, legs? Like,
Legs? Are you there?
Yeah. So yeah, it was quite wild.
You walked around the state capitol, right?
Yeah. So the capitol is like almost exactly a mile the whole way around. So did 2 of those. Probably going to regret it tomorrow, and we'll see.
At least it's a nice little nature walk. It's a good little walk out there in the Capitol. They do a really good job of like, you know, the garden and stuff like that. So
yeah, there's like a couple thousand different trees from all over the world, and they're tagged and stuff. All this stuff.
Well,
why are you laughing? It's
Sacramento's the city of trees. That's why I was laughing. Nobody knows outside of us Sacramentoans. It's like if that's how we're called, Sacramentoans. I don't know.
I think so. It's
such a weird name to give us, like yeah, I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. It's like Sac State. They've got like a tree from everywhere, and it's tagged. It's the same thing. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, we were the city of trees. Now we're what?
I thought we still were the city of trees.
No. We're the farm to fork now. Remember they changed.
That's right. We're the farm to fork capital.
That's what
it is. I mean, I'm okay with that because I like myself some farm to fork stuff. But city of trees always it fits the city a lot more just because there's a lot of green. So,
Speaking of trees, the pollen here has already started, and I am not happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy that I'm not affected by that type of stuff.
We have those stinky white trees that are starting to pop up. If you're from here, you know what we're talking about.
There's
any
already
college campus.
Yeah, there's already pollen just like everywhere. So we normally don't wear our masks, like our face masks, when we take Hilo for a walk because we live in a suburb neighborhood and there's not a ton of people around, but we are going to start doing it because it might help with the pollen.
I had to because there were so many people out today. Everyone's like, sunshine. Like, okay.
Yeah, it was an incredibly nice day out for the first time in like a long time. That had no wind anyway. Yeah. So, all right. Before we get to our guest, there actually is a couple questions here from Molly in the chat that I do want to bring up. EM popped in here and she said, "Hey Molly, I just saw your match when it was released on YouTube. You did amazing. I can't wait to see what is in the future for you. How was it playing Lights Out?"
I mean, it's how you might expect it. Slightly terrifying.
That's fair.
A lot of people were comparing it to just playing against a brick wall. She played a perfect game. That's I did my best and I could be proud of that, but she's on a whole nother level, and I have so much respect for her for how hard she is working to just get that belt. And I don't know. I don't know if I want her to get it and then take it from her, or if I want to.
You have a little vendetta now that you lost to her. If she does get the belt, it would make more sense for you to go after her at this point.
I kind of want her to get the belt, but then Alex gets it back with a rematch, and then I'll take it from Alex.
That's fair.
That's a lot of postage.
Literally, that is very true. She also had asked, I know it didn't go as planned, but did you have fun? Seriously, though, amazing match, and you were great. So
Of course, yes. I'm like a ball of nerves weeks leading up to playing a match, but once we like sit down and actually start doing the actual trivia, it's very fun, and you just kind of sit into it and get into the rhythm, and any nerves just kind of melt away. I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but once you start playing, your brain just like kicks into high gear and you're like, oh, this is what I've been studying for.
it sounds so much like a sport, like playing a sport.
Yeah,
I've never played like professional movie trivia, but it sounds so much like a sport. It's like tunnel vision. You just kind of like hone in on what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you got to see Sassy Laura do her thing. So
yes,
that was pretty funny.
Speaking of Sassy Laura, everybody in the chat probably didn't see it, but if you're not following Brian Ward on Twitter, please God go follow Brian Ward on Twitter and what he is posting on everything Schmoedown this year. The GIF he made of Winston and Laura is
my God.
Perfect. It is so perfect. Go check it out. Go follow Brian Ward. He is the graphics gentleman behind everything Schmoedown. And if you don't follow him on Twitter, he posts everything in the Facebook group, and maybe you just missed it, but it is genius. So go check that out.
And he was on Gucciverse. He survived.
He was on Gucciverse. Yes.
Really?
He survived Gucciverse. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our guest here, and we're going to have him on for the next 20, 30 minutes or so. And he's one of those hot incoming rookies that have made an impact over the last couple months. He was snagged up in the draft by Mr. Coy John Drew, and that is the Jackal himself, Jesse Swift. What's up, man?
Hey, Point of View crew. How's it going, guys? I feel like it's been a month. Is that right? I feel like it was pre-draft, wasn't it?
We did our
pre-draft.
special pre-draft.
Yeah.
It was like the middle of January, I want to say. So it's definitely been over a month.
Wow.
That feels like forever ago.
It does. It's life's been different since then.
Yeah, I mean, look, you were at that point. Last time we had talked to you on screen, at that point you were looking to get drafted. You were one of the many rookies who were entering themselves in the league, and managers were calling or not calling, and you got the call from Coy, and you're now officially a Merc. You're part of the squad. You're one of his IG guys. How does it feel? Well, first of all, how did it feel to get drafted? And second of all, how does it feel to be a part of the Mercs and what Coy's got going on over there?
Incredible on both ends, and I have my reaction out there. It made the reaction video that came out.
The Nerd Chronic cut.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was you can't fake that. I mean, you can fake it, but I definitely wasn't. Like I just I think I was in shock. I actually had to go back and watch what they said after Coy said my name, because it was just like that buzzing sound after I heard my name, so I had no idea what Gilmore or Janish said. But it's been incredible, the support that we have on that faction with Coy, and the bonding I've done with Bibiani lately has been phenomenal, and I can't wait to continue it on through the year and just really represent. Wow, voice cracking, that's always nice. Hey guys, I'm 15.
I see a kitty back there.
Yeah, there's a kitty back there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Spotting.
It was you guys. I'm now alleviating the green screen, I think, for the foreseeable future, because I can't get to work on StreamYards. So now you guys just get a view into the life. You get the cat, you get Henry Cavill, you get the Xbox, the stack of comics, pop figures.
Yeah, if for any of you who did not know, I got a little inside tip from Jesse before the show, but he is absolutely obsessed with Mr. Cavill.
Did you watch the video of him building a computer?
I've seen a little bit of it, but I think ovaries across the country just exploded.
Yeah.
All right, so I do want to ask though, because I did watch your reaction to the draft, and it was funny because you were sitting there hanging out, you were just kind of waiting for your name to be heard, and you did not expect to be called that early, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I wasn't
because
even
you
in
were
the mindset yet.
Yeah, you were like doing something else, and all of a sudden your name got heard, and you kind of just like this whole freak out thing.
Yeah.
And so getting called that early must have been pretty surreal as well.
Yeah, I was blown away, because I was only like third round, and I remember when Frankie Numbers put his draft list out. I was looking at it and I was like, hey, 58 out of like 146. That's fantastic. I was beyond stoked. So I kind of set that as my bar. I was like, okay, so if I get drafted, it might be kind of towards the back, towards the tail end. And that'll be great. Even if I get announced on Twitter later, like, great. I want to be on the team so bad. So to be Koi's like first IG pick, like in the draft, and honestly, I'm the only exclusive IG player on the Quirky Mercs. Like everyone else is kind of a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit Inner Geekdom, or singles and teams possibly, and Inner Geekdom. So there's a lot of pressure being like, hey, when I'm looking at getting the IG belt onto the Quirky Mercs, I'm looking at you, buddy. It's exciting though.
Mr. Brian, you got anything for him?
Well, now that you've asked 7 questions in a row, that like
I asked 2.
Half of them were mine.
I asked 2. Goodness.
I will say, in my opinion, it's
Brian, I'm
safe.
still Team Cap. It's okay.
Oh, okay, perfect, good, perfect. So am I. I know I saw the shield behind you when you got up, so it made me smile. But safe to say, I think that you probably were kind of hoping to go to the Mercs more than anyone. Am I right or am I wrong?
Very much so. I mean, I am a huge fan of Winston. I was eyeballing Swag. I thought Swag could be a lot of fun, but I had said on multiple shows that there's some really impressive factions out there. But as far as like making some friends and building relationship and just having the best team dynamic, there's nobody I wanted to be on more than the Quirky Mercs. And I didn't even realize how true that was until like the Twitter conversation started, and just we're already joking with each other. The Skype calls and things. First of all, who uses Skypes anymore? Apparently half of our team, but that's okay. That'll be the one time I throw us under the bus, okay? Everyone gets one.
Skype.
I think I finally deleted that app.
I had to go log in under my middle school email to try to get onto my Skype.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I used.
I almost kind of want you to throw under the bus who's the one that's using Skype.
Oh, you think it's one? That's the part that's funny
God.
about the faction.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I have my
That's
ideas.
Maybe it works with. Maybe it's on the same level as Koi's internet.
I was just gonna say maybe it. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want to put the jigsaw pieces together, you can.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's fair.
I'll tell you what, though, it was a discovery. I think Koi put up some images from that Skype call, and we were all just pressing buttons and stuff. And there's this one that says like it's like group view or something, and it put all of us as heads in a coliseum, and we're like, "What's happening?"
Oh goodness.
Molly, did you have anything you wanted to ask Jesse?
Yeah. So I feel like after the draft, just all the factions have really been doing a great job at like working as a team. And like you said, working with Bibiani, I mean, that's kind of like bragging rights in itself. But what's it like studying? I assume you've been studying with your teammates on the faction, and what's it like just being able to study with the likes of Bibbs and Koi?
I'll tell you what, with Bibbs has been phenomenal, and the Bibiani, what I love about him is he knows that there's so many different schedules and everyone's got different things going on in their life. And I reach out to the group and I'm like, listen, guys, my match is coming up really fast, and because we of course had our initial meeting and stuff. I was like, I need some practice. Like I got some study and stuff, but I've never had a real match. I don't have fan league tape or anything like that. So like I just need the practice of the rhythm and using my JTEs and stuff, because just shouting trivia at each other is different than actually being in a match.
Right.
And I'll say both halves of Shazam. Brendan Meyer reached out to me and helped me do some training and stuff. He's like, listen, you're probably going to smoke me in IG, but like I can help get a match thrown together. So that's great. And then Bibiani ran me through some training and stuff. And he's really been reaching out and just putting forth the work. And I think he's earned the title of like captain of the Mercs. And I just love and respect the Beast so much. And that's probably been one of my favorite new relationships that I've made. And I thought that I'd be gravitating towards the rookie first, but really it's just like one of the biggest veterans of the Schmoedown. That's been that for me.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, as a big Bibbs fan myself, I mean that's really cool to hear that he's stepping into the faction as kind of like you said, the captain and taking the rookies under his wing, and really training them. Because honestly, I mean, obviously there's a lot of people like Dan Murrell and some other people, but I would personally not want to be trained under anyone else but Bibbs. He knows the game, and he is so focused in on what the game is, the rules, how it works, and even
he's
when he
literally wrote the rules. Like,
exactly. But he just has so much experience, and to have that in your faction must be really cool. And it's super exciting to hear that they're kind of all behind you. I do want to ask though, because this match is coming up. We do have a couple days, and you're playing another rookie, Amaru Moses, part of the usual suspects, and he was one who was touted as the guy. Right, he was touted as the guy. He was drafted number 2 overall in the draft. Does that put a little chip on your shoulder, knowing that you're playing against the guy who seems to be the golden boy or what everyone is really looking forward to playing, and you're kind of coming in as like this shadow figure who nobody is really talking about at this point? Does that kind of like fire you up a little bit?
I'm fired up, absolutely. And I think really Christian put the Mercs in the position where we have everything to prove. Because if you look at the lineup of every time you see a Merc name, we have a vicious match ahead of us. Like, as far as going against the rookies, he couldn't put me in front of a more proven IG rookie. And, he's not likely to put me against a vet for my first match. So that was probably one of the hardest possible matchups that he could have set up. And then you look at Bibbs got to go against Oyama right off the bat. So we got, and then Brendan Myers going against Chance Ellison. So like we got no easy first rounders. And I don't know if it's a sign of confidence or if Harloff really hates us, but it's gonna be really exciting. I do feel the pressure 100%. But what I've been telling everybody is, because I'm not letting myself get disheartened. I watch all the after shows. And every time this match comes up, everyone's like, Amaru or Swift, who you got? And it's just across the board. 20 out of 20, everyone says Amaru Moses. I was like, that's fine, because he's got something that you can base an opinion off. Right now, I'm a mouth until I get in front of people. And so you can't have an upset unless everyone's voting the other way, right? So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I hope to see in this match. I know it's going to be a scrap. I know whichever way it goes that either I'm going to hold his ass to the fire or he's going to hold mine, and it's going to be entertaining.
You're braver than I am. I can't watch shows that are talking about me versus someone else. I'm like, la 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 la.
I'll say right now, I respect everyone's opinion. It's been great, and a lot of them are like, "Hey, I really like Jesse, but just because of the experience Amaru's shown, I'm like, I lean that way." And then there's Ferris, so I'll just leave it at that.
Ferris can always make his way into this show somehow, some way.
Well, you got a big enough mouth, you find yourself in a lot of places. Hey, that's how I got on the draft list. That's how I got myself on a team. So respect. I get it.
Oh my god! Oh, that's great.
Goodness.
Ferris.
Off topic. Have you guys ever not quite washed all the soap out of your mug and then drink water out of it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Definitely done that.
Brian, did you got anything else that you would like to add?
I was just going to make a comment. I think it's the reason you guys got thrown so hard under the bus is because Coy the other day said that Die Hard's not a good movie.
That was preemptive, though. You can't blame it on that. And I think Bibiani was asking Harloff for a trade after that.
I mean, he should. Jake, Lethal Weapon or Die Hard? What's better?
Die Hard.
Okay, thank you.
Always. And Lethal Weapon is great, and it's one of the greatest action / buddy cop movies of all time. But Die Hard's an all timer, man. That movie is just an all timer.
I prefer Loaded Weapon with Sam Jackson and Emilio Estevez.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair. That one clearly.
The other competitor part of this match has stepped in here a little bit, and he says, Jesse has put in the work for sure. I've known that since before the draft had even happened.
Can I make that face?
You know what? That's a good thing to talk about here. I'm very excited to see the character aspect of all this, right? Because we're not just talking about the movie trivia part of the Schmoedown, because there is a second half of all this, and that is the character / personality. Is that something that you're super? I'm sorry. This face. There you go.
Jake finds this face way more funny than it needs to be.
We quirk, we murk, and we smirk.
There you go. But what is it like going into the match now that it's just a few days away? You're the first match of the season, and you have to make sure that your personality is just as strong as your play, and even facing someone like Amaru as well, who we know also has a very big personality. Was that something that was hard to find, or is that easy to find going into the match?
Kind of easy, because I think between me and Amaru, I think I can say that we both have a sportsman-like mentality, and neither of us are on like any of the huge heel factions, so there's not that pressure to just be the biggest a-hole in the game. I think the Mercs are the most likable faction. And then so all I was told for character notes, man, is just like, be likable, represent the Mercs. And I was like, okay, I'll keep a smile on. I'll get good sportsmanship, unless it's Jacob Whitnippin, because I don't know if you guys saw that Schmoebaits, but I will take that kid out. I will sock him directly in the face. But for the rest of the league, I'm just very excited to have some good matches, just to fight tooth and nail. And to have all the practice and studying that I've been doing to pay dividends. So yeah, I'm not too stressed out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And as character work, just smile.
That's fair.
The Jackal is just such a good nickname.
Yeah, that's a good point to make. The great nickname.
Yeah.
What I love about it, though, is like I said, all smiles up front, but you turn around, I'm going to bite you in the back, right in the neck.
There you go.
Fair.
I like that. Underestimated.
I like to think that everyone on your team is a face. Makes me laugh.
I mean,
it would make the most sense.
I do believe the 2 years running face of the year, correct?
I believe so.
And Brendan Meyer both times, I think.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
The bar has been set.
Well, and Coy always says during the matches, we're just here to have fun. Like, that's a heel thing, or a face thing, not a heel thing. That's a face thing. So it and like Brian had said earlier, you fit the most on the Mercs, and it's just like it feels like it's a match made in heaven.
It sure feels like it.
It would have been it honestly would have been weird, I think, seeing you on any other team.
There were other teams that were coming after me pre-draft. And some of them asking about my heel work and stuff. And honestly, they were the first ones to come to me. So I think for a lot of my first appearances, I was trying to be not myself. So it's cool that I got to be somewhere that I can be me and just turn it up to an 11.
Yeah.
You're not an 11 all the time?
I'm 8, 9, or 10, depending on how much sleep and caffeine I've had. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What is it that Coy's drinking now again? The Jameson coffee.
Oh, God.
Is he supplying you guys with those?
He should be.
Yeah, that's one of the excuses to come down for a live match is have Coy just serve us all some Jameson coffee.
God.
A live match where factions can get together is going to be insane, because we've never had that. We've never had a live event where, like a spectacular, for example, where factions can get together, and I can just imagine the kind of chaos that could happen if that happens. Like, if 12 people plus a manager, like for Molly, for example, 12 people plus Kaiser. Oh God, like Jesus.
Or one person plus Kaiser.
That's true too. That's very true. Just Kaiser on his own.
Put Kaiser in a straight jacket and drop him in the middle of the room. He'll cause plenty of chaos.
That's so true. That's so true.
Jeez, I can't wait for live anything. Anything Schmoedown live.
Christian put out that poll yesterday asking if they held a live spectacular in December, if people would come. So it seems to be on their mind.
I feel like it was
to be on their mind.
It was like split 50-50, I think.
Yeah, it was pretty close. Yeah. I think the Twitter one was a little different, but the Facebook one was definitely split.
It's probably a little early to add. I mean, I understand planning wise and financially why you're asking now, but we have so many things that are still like, I'm up in Washington right now, which, by the way, let's get a live event in Seattle when the time comes.
Yeah.
That's a great mecca for places, but there's so many things. Like theaters just started opening up again like 2-3 weeks ago. Nothing's really playing there, but we have plenty of stuff still shut down here, and so it's weird. Restaurants weird. Everything's weird living up here.
Seahawks fan?
I mean, like there's that 2-year time span where they're worth watching, but I don't do the sports ball. I'm definitely more into movies.
Fair.
Same.
I got nothing against football, but one of my favorite things, my comebacks always was in high school, is there'd be jocks and stuff, and I'd be talking about comic books or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, you're such a nerd." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet you know every stat about your home team, you freaking nerd." Like, everybody's a nerd.
Fair.
It's just like
it's 100% fair.
It's different stuff. Everyone's got their preferences and things, you know. And then if you're not that passionate about anything, you're probably a boring human. You got to be passionate about something.
Fair. Yeah, absolutely.
That is fair.
That's my
I've
message
never
for the
heard it
day.
put that way, but that's true. I mean,
Yeah, Jake, you like sports, nerd.
Look at his background.
yeah, sure. Yeah, I know. There's a baseball and a baseball glove, and that's about it back there. Everything else is nerd. So
I'll be honest, I didn't even see that.
All right, Molly, Brian, do you guys have anything else that you would like to ask Jesse before we let him out of here?
I'm just very excited to see this match and see you play.
I think it's a great first match of the season for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, we are 3 firsts for the year. We are the first rookie match. We're the first IMG match in like the main season outside of events, and then we're literally the first match.
I will ask, because this will be fun to ask a lot of the rookies. What do other people in your life think about what you're doing here in the Schmoedown? Loved ones, friends, family.
It's been a slow burn, and I'll let you guys know a little bit. Hopefully this comes to fruition, but I've had to try to explain the Schmoedown so many times, and people think it's like a bar night that I'm going to go do a little trivia tournament like overnight. I'm like, no, this is like a year-long sport. Like this is a whole thing, and it's got the dynamic of like pro wrestling. And the more I try to explain it, the more confused they look. And I'm like, man, it's just like you just want to bombard people with links and be like, this is what it is. This is what it is. Yeah. And so I've been talking to Bibiani, and we're thinking about coming together and making like just, I mean, kind of like on my channel, but like a what is the Schmoedown thing, a video to send people something where you can just, I mean, there was at one point a video that was what I love about the Schmoedown, which covered a lot of those bases, but who better than Bibiani to really explain to the normies what it is and why we love it and why we're a part of it and what a quirky merc is. So look forward to that eventually.
Cool.
We did have a Streamlabs that actually came through for Jesse. A couple questions here for him. And this is from Sir Sullivan Moreno, one of our patrons here. And he simply says, hey, Jesse, 2 things. I'm going to need you to whip Amaru's tail because I have you on 3 fantasy teams. So you know I got one person picking you to win in me. And 2, did you see Jacob Wittenben's reaction to you being drafted before him and thoughts on that?
100%. I think I retweeted it. If I didn't, I should have. It was hilarious. And we're all talking about what needs to be on a t-shirt that he can wear all the time is sweating with anger. And he's like, he brought it back up in our Schmoebaits. We were just having a real fire matchup of debating, and he brought it back. He's like, I'm sweating with rage. And I was like, let's look forward to see so much of that this coming season. And I hope we have a match. If we have a match, if it's me and Whitneben, it's going to be the one time you might see a little bit of heel, because I am so ready to just get inside that guy's head. Like we have it out for each other, and there's no way around it.
I love it. I will add to that. I have you on my fantasy team as well. So I am in your corner. I'm rooting for you.
Isn't it
on
ironic
Wednesday, so.
that Jake had first pick every single match he's had a player in so far, and I believe has won? Just saying.
That just means I picked correctly. That's all.
I forgot we even made fantasy teams.
Molly.
All right, Jesse, before we let you out of here, I want to give you a chance to plug anything. Let the people in the chat and online, let them know where they can find you everywhere in the Twitterverse and YouTubes and all that type of stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I have right here in the background, you see Flick in Real. Oh, this way. There he goes. And that is my YouTube channel. Thank you. Yeah, I got it on name right here. And you can find it. Find me on Twitter also at Jesse Swift. And thanks to Harloff for opening the door to stereo. So now I'm on there. If anyone wants to get a conversation started, talk some Mortal Kombat, talk some Snyder Cut, or what other controversies that we can come up with. I am very open to that. So yeah. But please, YouTube channel.
And I added all the links in the description, guys. You guys can check those out. Go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's doing some really cool stuff. There's got a WandaVision show. He's talking Mortal Kombat, which is a movie coming out, and I'm sure Molly can say that this guy knows exactly what he's talking about with Mortal Kombat. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. But for now, Jesse, can't thank you enough for stopping by, man. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you a little bit more, and we can't wait for Wednesday, man. We can't wait for Wednesday.
Everyone knows that you guys are one of my favorite shows. So any chance I have to come on here, I would love to do it. Hopefully we can get something going after the match. I already got so much booked the coming week, but I'd love to see you guys.
No, we'll definitely have you back, especially with an IG tournament down the road and more matches. We'll definitely have you back on the channel too. So
appreciate it, guys. Thank you, and good luck with the rest of your show.
Thank you. Have a good night, Jesse.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All
I'm
right.
so excited. I'm so ready to for this season to start. Like,
yeah.
Now that
days.
my match is out of the way, I'm just like, yes, okay, I need weekly matches to binge. Thank you very much.
Before we move on to the next couple matches. Oh, Brian, go ahead. Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it feels like it's been a year since like the season started, and it's probably the shortest sports turnaround in all the main things that people watch. But yeah. Oh, look at Amaru.
Yeah. Hey, just hit me up on Twitter, man. Just hit me up on Twitter. I do want to say before we get to our next match, which is the first Star Wars match of the year outside of the pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. Let's give our official picks. We have to give our official picks for the match. How per usual. We have Amaru, we have Jesse. Who are you guys picking in this match?
I refuse to pick this match.
You have to pick, man. Nope. Come on. And you
Absolutely not.
Just because one's in the chat and one is on the show doesn't mean you can't say anything. Amaru is like
a clone of me, and Jesse was one of my top picks. So nope. Sorry.
I'm taking Jesse. Just
honestly, I might not choose between someone the rest of the year. I refuse to choose between these two.
Well, that means I can refuse too.
You know me and flipping coins. It doesn't happen.
You guys, come on. Molly, you're gonna make a pick?
I'll go with Jesse. I know Amaru's in the chat, and I'm sorry, but I've just talked to Jesse more. So,
Chris, you are so right. There you go, Brian. If you can't pick on this match, the season's going to be real.
Oh no, I'll be fine. This one, honestly, I looked at all the matches that have been announced, and I was like, I can make a pick on all of them. Bye, Billy. I was like, I can make a pick on every match that's through the rest so far that's been announced. This one, absolutely not.
I'll try to get out of him on Wednesday again when we do our reaction, because the reactions are coming back on the channel. And we usually make picks before the match actually happens. And so maybe Brian will try to decide then, but I doubt it. So before we get to our next match, we do actually have a stream super chat, not a stream labs, a super chat that came through. I'm still getting used to that. From Mr. Wheels here, Will Watson. I want to say what's up to the fantastic view crew, especially the Dungeons own the Maverick Molly Damon, future Star Wars champion.
Give me that crown. and the belt, but give me a crown too.
It's funny. I've been literally thinking about, like, since you said Alex could lose it, then Laura, then I'm like, what would be the best way for her to win it? What would be the coolest way?
I mean, the best way would probably, so for Alex to lose it and have to go back into a tournament, and then it goes down to just the two of us, and then I win it.
That would be rough.
It's like my dream though.
See, like what's funny is I can easily pick who I want in that one too, but not Jesse.
All right, so yes, tomorrow we do reactions here. We do reactions to every match. So we'll be talking about your match live on Wednesday. We go live at 6 p.m. PST, same time as the main show. Every match day we go live, and it's usually a combination of us. With so many matches this year, you'll probably there's going to be a number of times where you see all four of us. But there's also going to be times where you're not going to see all four of us, probably three of us, or maybe a mixture of us, and also the Adams brothers who have reached out on us and possibly doing reactions with us as well. Also want to note that we decided that on days that pay-per-views are, those Fridays, because matches are at 5 p.m. our time, we won't be doing reactions those days because we don't want to coincide with what's happening with the pay-per-view or rush the reaction. We'll just talk about it on the main show on Sunday. So there is that, and we'll make sure to update as we go along as well. All right, let's get to our next match because this one's really fun. I actually have the image here. We have the first official Star Wars match of the season outside of the pay-per-view, which is Marie Wilson and Sean Sullivan. And much to our surprise, we have a special guest with us, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got his own intro music.
Who apparently has access to our StreamYard as well.
He has access to our StreamYards, and he is here to bring the chaos. He is here to bring the chaos.
Oh my god.
Save it for your match.
Can I just say, it's a little disrespectful that you couldn't even get me on your show. You didn't even think to reach out.
Oh, God.
I was your first guest. My girlfriend's your damn co-host.
Who's taking a nap.
Yeah, she needs her beauty rest, okay? You couldn't even get me on your show. You didn't even think to ask. A little disrespectful. Hi, Molly. How are you? Wonderful to see you. The other two, however, Brian and Jake. Come on.
It's easier just to blame him.
Would you have accepted my invitation?
I mean, if you meet all of my writers and what I require to be on the show, sure.
I think they probably just assumed because of Jill, we could just have you on. They should have more respect for us Star Wars players.
I was going to say, Molly, you know a lot about that, right? You love being grouped in with your significant other and not being your own independent person. You would think that these two would know better than to treat us as independent entities.
To be fair, actually, what I just realized is...
In fact, you know what? I'm going to fix this here. Let's do this. There we go.
That's fine.
There we go. That's much better.
I hate that I gave him access. I hate that I gave him access to this. He has control over everything now.
Jake, you look a little red.
Yeah, I know I am. I'm laughing too hard. There you go, Mr. Brian Ward said, by God, that's Sean Sullivan's music.
Well, it's not my music. It's the corruption music. But as soon as David B gets off his ass, I'm going to have my own. It's okay. David B, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, stop playing Squadrons with us and make Sean's music.
He's making it like everyone in the Schmoedown their own music.
Yeah, he's got to. We all deserve it. We all work hard.
Well, since we have you here, Sully, Mr. Sullivan, if I may call you, your match is coming up, man. How you feeling going up against one of these highly touted Dragon Con rookies?
Do they have anything on Laura Kelly?
I don't think so.
I'm just going to point this out from Sean Buckley in the chat here. Laura Kelly had to go perfect to beat me. Do you expect Marie Wilson to go perfect?
I've never seen her play, so I can't say.
Exactly.
I've seen her play Dragon Con trivia, but again, it's a very different ball game. With
Look,
Schmoedown,
we can play Name the Clone. We can play Name the Clone Troopers all we want.
Yeah.
We can play Name the Clone Troopers all we want. We're talking about the Schmoedown here, professional movie trivia, not convention trivia.
I mean,
what do you expect?
He does have a point. Has a point there.
That it's a fair say. I'm just saying, she's being touted as one of these hot shot trivia players. Is there anything that makes you nervous about her?
Yeah, I mean, she seems like she probably throws a good left hook.
Good thing this isn't like an in-person in studio.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. So no, to answer your question, no. I guess the answer is no.
She seems like the person though to like find out where you live and just like
she
go
probably could, but I have a guy who works in university donations and university charity events. He's gonna, if I need to find it, I can find out wherever you live. Kaiser, Piggy Smalls, I know where he's at.
Oh, you leave Piggy Smalls out of this.
Damn, that's mean.
I'm just gonna give him a nice dinner, give him a nice clean coat, because I don't think Piggy Smalls is well taken care of over there. I think he deserves a lot better than whatever Kaiser's doing. That's just me.
I mean, we did find out that there is free acupuncture though, so
Right? I wonder if Piggy
Very
Smalls
true.
gets the treatments too.
Probably.
If that's the case, then he's well taken care of.
So I gotta ask, because obviously, Sean, you were on the Den last year. You're now a part of Corruption. It seems like you've taken what could be considered your true nature. In taking, I guess, what can be considered the dark side, but you've kind of shifted tides a little bit, if you will.
Well, here's the thing, Jake. I think you're the first person to nail it on the head. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's a heel turn." Look, I was working with clowns last year. I had to pretend to be a clown. Okay. If you work with clowns, you got to pretend to be a clown. It is what it is, Just look at all the people on the Mercs, right? They have to pretend to be happy-go-lucky. You think DiMolante's actually happy-go-lucky? No.
Oh,
No,
real talk.
That guy is scum of the earth in the best way possible, but he's got to act all happy and smiley because he's on the Mercs now. You have to bend to the faction. Sometimes a faction fits you just so much better, and this is a great case of that, right? What Corruption does, what Barney does, what Kalinowski and Chance and Adam, it's a great team of people, and you know what? They're here to win, and they're out for blood. And I'm glad to be here out for blood as well.
Yeah, I agree,
the only
Brandy.
The only thing I do with Marshmallow.
As he spills whiskey, as he spills his drink.
See, we hear all the sweet things that you do for Jill. So no matter what you say in your heel persona, we know the truth.
Well, I mean, what I do for my significant other and what I do for my opponents, I'm not going to be going on vacation with Murray Wilson anytime soon. But as far as the marshmallow comment, the only thing I do with marshmallows is stick them in a fire and roast them. Okay, which I did many a times this weekend. But I also, found a nice rock and meditated for a bit. I watched all the Star Wars movies out in the middle of the desert. It was great. I'm as ready as I can be. I don't know what else you want from me. What do we know about Marie Wilson? She's got a YouTube channel with like 50 subscribers. I guess go subscribe to Aaliyah Morgaine on YouTube or something. Great channel, talks about love and Star Wars. If you're into that, not really. Oh, hi, Jill. Great to see you. Good morning.
I tell you to wake me up, but instead you decide to take over my show.
Yeah.
Literally take over. He's got
What is
control.
Why are you up there?
Hold on,
What
let's
is
fix
happening?
that. Okay, there we go. I'm fixing the screen order.
Oh goodness!
This show just went off the rails more so than it ever has been.
I know this. This saint isn't acting quite saintly. Might need to change that.
Well,
You know,
the saint
Lucifer
can mean
was a
many
saint.
things. Yeah, the saint can mean many bad things.
I'm just going to assume that Sean kicked her out. That just to go with it. Since he has control of our.
I didn't do that, but okay.
She's coming to steal the Ethernet cable, I bet.
Well, it's here. So,
Sean,
she's
how's
closer
it,
to the
how's it
Wi-Fi
been,
router, anyways.
how's it been working with corruption and everything that got going on over there? All the new players that are involved, but also some of the past.
Well,
past
that's the
haymakers
beauty.
on the
That's the
faction?
beauty of corruption. There's no new players. Corruption is all veterans.
Okay. Sorry, excuse me.
We have
new faction members.
You're right. So new faction members. Well, I mean, what? There's myself, Joseph Scrimshaw, who's a national treasure. I'm trying to get him to grow a goatee or something. Go a little more. He just won't. I told him maybe a face tattoo. He said. He kind of just said something about like, oh, I'm a Jedi or something. I don't know. I like the guy, but he's a little far up his own. Who else we got? We got James White. I love James White. The one good thing to carry over from the Den last year. James White is gonna, I think, make a pretty good splash this year. Who else? Wait,
hold on. You wouldn't consider yourself a carryover from the Den? A good carryover?
Sure, but I already said how I feel about the Den. They're a bunch of clowns. I had to act like a clown.
Okay.
I'm so
Who
sorry.
else we got? We got Jacob, the Australian one.
London.
Yeah, I like him.
Jill, you did this.
I'm so sorry.
You did this, Jake, because you gave him access to everything.
Technically, he gave Jill access to it on my computer. So.
Yeah.
Mistakes.
So I guess we can go back around to that being Jill's fault. I'm just joking. Well, Jill, good to see you. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. This one got to sleep while I drove for the entire 2 hours.
I did.
2 hours
It was lovely.
and a half hours. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was great. I did not get to do that. That's why he's like this, and I'm like in my pajamas and not wearing makeup. He's corrupting everything. Look at this. What has happened to you, Sean? What is going on?
He has been corrupted, or he just became his true self.
Yeah.
What kind of whiskey are you drinking, sir?
This is a. You've probably never heard of it, so it's okay.
It's apple juice.
Yeah.
It's just apple juice.
Yeah, my official statement on Schmoedown matches is it's apple juice because we're not supposed to talk about any sort of narcotics or imbibable product.
Is whiskey a narcotic now?
No, it's a inebriant.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'd say,
Chuck,
okay, but
Hold on, time out, Chuck. This is denim. Thank you very much. This is denim.
Oh my god.
This is black.
I will
denim.
say, Sean gets drafted by the faction that he was maybe born for, and he gets a little bit more informed in use of bigger words.
Are you saying the Den
as he comes on these shows.
words, Jake? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying the Den can't use big words?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But like Sean said, I mean, maybe he wasn't right for that faction.
There were a bunch of clowns. Kate, what's Kate Mulligan got to do? Dance around in a fucking Inside Out Notre Dame shirt with a fanny pack on?
You're not going to
What
miss
is
the
that?
fanny pack? You're not going to miss the fanny pack.
Okay, the fanny pack had whiskey in it, so I will miss the fanny pack. Because I'm pretty sure the fanny pack was a bag of holding where you could just stick your hand in and it goes forever, right? But
That's a
aside
D&D
from
reference.
the fanny pack.
Anyone.
That's a Harry
Molly, did you
Potter
catch that
reference.
reference?
that's so crazy because we got a bag of holding in our D&D game today.
I love a bag of holding. Ask your DM what happens if you put a bag of holding inside a portable hole.
Ooh. I'm pretty sure you create a black hole.
You certainly do. So Molly, I go forth and create your own black holes
Just anywhere I please.
anywhere you please.
So it seems like you're already kind of looking past Marie Wilson a little bit. Is that is
Sure.
that true?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we know. Okay. Regardless of what happens in this match, we have tournaments, and the tournaments are what are going to matter this year. You know, I can dick around with whatever competitor they want to put in front of me. It doesn't matter until we hit a tournament. You know, because you need a 3-win streak outside of a tournament, or you need a 3-win streak in a tournament to win the finals. So either I get a bunch of random matches throughout the season and get a 3-win streak, which won't matter if I go into the tournament and lose, right? So ultimately, the only thing I care about is the tournament. So we got a tournament coming up, what, May? We got one in May. We got another one closer to the end of the year. Those are the only 2 things I care about, those tournaments.
Everything else is just
all this is just warm-up.
Yeah,
there you
right?
go.
This is a scrimmage. This is like when the JV football team plays the varsity football team.
Are you the JV in this situation?
Am I the JV? What do you think, Jake?
I just had to ask.
Jeez, Jake's gonna start poking the bear.
I like seeing this side of Sean. This is a fun side of Sean. I enjoy it.
Also, I feel I should answer this question, Malcolm. Normally I play humans, however, I'm a big fan of Tiefling.
You also DM all the time.
Yeah, typically I'm the DM.
This is a great comment. This is a great comment. Thank you,
I
Paul,
know!
for chiming in.
Jill's great. I just spent, a full 72 hours with Jill nonstop, okay? She can take a back seat for Star Wars for a couple
He's
weeks.
just sick of me right now. He's like, okay, we had our time, and now it's back to Star Wars. Yeah, I'm done. I'm just another person in the house for the next couple weeks. Like, that's all I am.
I enjoyed the message this morning saying at like 9 a.m, Sean's making s'mores.
Yeah, look, when you got fire, you got to play with fire.
It's never a bad time for s'mores.
Never a bad time for s'mores.
No, never.
S'mores and whiskey are my 2 favorite things in this world. And I have no place to light a fire here safely, so...
Is that the second diss I just got in this show? What is
Jill,
that?
you're not a thing. You're not an object. I said favorite thing. You're not an object. And anyone who tells you you're an object is not the right guy for you. You're not an object.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh God.
So since you just got back from vacation, I feel like that might give you a leg up of just like having a little extra relaxation going into a match.
Look, I didn't bother with. I never stopped training on vacation, right? I mean, you can, even when I wasn't training, I was going the places Shannon told me to go.
I mean, it looks like Tatooine.
Shannon gave us a list of places. Hey, go to Pie for the People. Make sure to go to Pioneer Town. Go to Joshua Tree Saloon. So we did. We went everywhere she told us to go. Look, I'm not a big fan of Indian food, but if you ever find yourselves in Yucca Valley or Joshua Tree, Sam's Restaurant on Highway 62, great fucking Indian food.
Well,
I would just also like to point out the fact that Kaiser was on this show and didn't swear. Yeah,
And then
Sean is
this one is
all
on
over
there.
the place.
We give Sean the swearing memo.
That's because Kaiser is a sweetheart. He just pretends to be this hard, John Kreese guy. I've said it once, I'll say it again. He's the guy from Cobra Kai. I'm not wrong. Molly, vouch for me on this. Come on,
I
you've
haven't
worked with
watched
him.
Cobra Kai.
I mean,
Don't come
Okay,
after
well,
me.
Molly.
Kreese technically murdered someone. I mean,
You don't think Kaiser's murdered someone?
okay, fair enough.
Look at him. Look at him.
It wasn't his fault, probably.
Yeah, it was an accident. He fell into a pit of cobras.
But look, okay, what counts is he got away with it, right?
Well, it wasn't in
He
the
did get
U.S.,
away
so it
with
doesn't
it.
really matter.
It was international waters. It's fine.
What have we devolved into?
I don't know. I
This
also
is
want
That's
to.
what Sean does. He corrupts everything. What
That's
is
true. You
Well,
just see
I
the red
definitely wish
vine.
so, just because he has full control, unfortunately. So
I continue to be an agent of chaos.
I mean, I will say, you said you were studying on vacation. I know Shannon and Mike were studying on vacation. Mike
I think they watched a Transformers movie.
unfortunately watching
God.
Transformers 5.
it's a terrible vacation movie.
I think my vacation studying was a bit easier.
So, I mean, yeah. Maybe corruption. There's no stopping in the studying in corruption.
Doesn't look like it.
Super chat here from Tim Sim. I wonder what will Joseph Scrimshaw look like with the dark side? Oh, I mean corruption.
Probably just like regular Joseph Scrimshaw, but with some eyeliner.
Ooh,
Oh my god,
love it.
that is. Perfect.
I don't know why that's funny. I think he'd look great in eyeliner.
I love it because I never thought of that, and now I want it to happen.
Molly, some Queen's Gambit underneath eyeliner.
Yeah, get crazy with it. Maybe like a little studded choker.
Well, let's not go crazy here. He's a person, not a dog.
Swoop hair. All
You
down.
know. Look, he maybe he can rock a nice leather jacket. And this is denim.
Chuck, that's at you.
Yeah, I think Brian Ward hit the nail on the head. Count Dooku, but with with a little bit of eyeliner. I really like the eyeliner.
So
the
he'll keep it super classy. He'll refer to lightsabers as swords.
Your
Yeah, I can
sword,
see that.
please.
I
Yeah, I like that. I'm into that.
I just can't wait. I now just can't wait for the Scrimshaw Brian Ward piece of him as Dooku.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
That's all I'm looking
He's
for.
already got the beard.
Brian, you better please add the eyeliner in some capacity.
I
want to
have
see
a
that.
question.
I want to see that.
I have a question, and this maybe Molly, maybe you can answer this for me.
Oh God.
How come everyone except for Alex, because Alex hasn't really done this, everyone in Star Wars defaults to the Jedi Sith thing for Star Wars competitors? Do we forget there are other things in Star Wars?
I mean, we don't forget. I think it's just easier to say light side, dark side. Alex doesn't do a lot of character work because he doesn't have to, because he's so good at what he does.
Until one of the two of us take his belt.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's only a matter of time. Now that he's in IG, he's really he's slipping, man. I see it in his eyes.
Yeah, I think. Look, I'd never want to give any of the Dragon Con players any props, but I gotta say that Harper player looks good. Harper looks pretty good.
Not Zach.
He's too nice. He doesn't have it in him. Look, we've seen too many nice guys come in. Ace Cabrera, Joseph Scrimshaw. They've all tried to take the belt already. They're all too nice. That's why I think Scrimshaw's best asset this year is going to be the fact that he's got people like Shannon and Mike pushing him to be a winner and not someone having fun talking about Star Wars. This is a sport, not a YouTube channel. You're right, Chris Adams. We need a few scoundrels here and there.
I mean, that's kind of what the Maverick is all about.
Exactly.
I'm not light side or dark side. You don't know what you're gonna get from me.
You have been acting like a scoundrel as of late. So
Yeah, he has.
I will say
hold
though,
on.
if you want to call Zach a nice guy, he did pick Marie against you, flat out.
Look, loyalty only goes so far, Zach. I'll remember that. You know you have 69 active viewers right now?
God.
Nice.
I just want to point that out.
He's probably been waiting for that the entire time he's been on the show.
Tell me who you guys think. Who are we picking? Can we do it while he's here?
I mean, look, I think that the Dragon Con players are great, but I'm going with the vet on this one. I do think that Sully will bring it, and I do like this whole new version of him that he's bringing to the table that
All right, Jake can have his spot back.
is is it's not just like a facade. It does feel like the real Sean Sullivan inside the Schmoedown. And I think that's gonna play into the match a little bit.
Yeah, I mean he's right. Laura Kelly had to play perfect to beat him. That's nothing to mess around with. I think Marie's great. I think she'll do well later on in the year, but I don't know. Like rookies in their very first matches, it's tough. So I would also have to pick Sean on this one.
It's a learning curve for some of them. It's especially already had playing a major trivia tournament like they have. This is vastly different. That's where it's very different from the fan leaguers. They play a very similar style of game. The DragonCon stuff is extremely different.
Yep. And the live version of DragonCon is in a room full of maybe 30 people. 30 or 40 people.
Yeah.
Not the entire internet.
Jill, I imagine we know where your heart lies.
I'm gonna pick Marie now just because he said I wasn't.
He has the power. He has the power.
Brian, go ahead.
She had that mic drop before you kicked her.
Obviously, I'm gonna pick.
Obviously. I ironically am even wearing my corruption.
There you go.
Right
I know
now.
where Brian's heart lies. Now, here's a little. I'm going to
dark
give you guys
side.
a peek behind the curtain. I have my whiskey because I have to, but I also am drinking my nice tiki drink over here.
Oh god.
Oh, I love this Sean Sullivan so much.
Double fisting because I have to. That's your tagline.
It's everything I do is out of necessity. I don't like excess. I don't like chaff. I feel like we have an excess of Star Wars competitors this year. I feel like we have an excess of chaff. No offense. I see Jesse and the other guy. Never talked to the other guy. Jesse seems cool. I like Jesse.
It just make a lot of difference, so that should make you happy.
Well, the other Sully's played with or spelled with an EY.
Did you just
SULLEY.
actually?
I did. And if you want to get your actually shirts, you can get those over at TeePublic / Star Wars Explained or something.
Yeah, something like that.
They sell them in baseball tee. They do shrink in the wash. Be careful of that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Oh no.
Mine still fits.
Mine became
Well,
a
Jake,
crop
we don't all
top.
have perfect physiques like you. Some of
Oh,
us have
that's
a little
not
bit of
true.
whiskey with.
That's not true.
Yeah, some of us have to exercise like today. Mm-hmm.
You have a good point though about the Star Wars players. There are just too many of them.
Too many of them.
We got to get them out of here.
Yeah.
We gotta
Are you guys
scare 'em.
trying to purge the Star Wars division?
Yeah, we gotta scare them right off the bat. Get them to
Look.
quit.
I've had a few conversations with that Brother Lomas guy. We have the same upper clergy that we have to go through.
For the love of God, Brian Ward.
Yeah, that's a previous image that he just sent us about Shaw's Dooku.
Exactly. For the love of God, exactly. As the saint, speaking of Brother Lomas, you're right, Brian. For the love of
there you
God.
go. Yeah.
So Scrimshaw is playable in Battlefront now?
Apparently, that's incredible.
Oh yeah.
I just need the eyeliner. Just need the eyeliner.
Get on the eyeliner. Where was I talking about? Oh yeah. Brother Lomas has said a few things about purging the Schmoedown, and I think that there's he's coming from a good place on that. Don't like his choice of allegiances this year, but he's got a few good points.
Ooh, Brian, us Star Wars teams division in the chat. I am all
That'd be
about that.
crazy.
I think that's the day PJ retires.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
timeout.
Put me and Mara on a team.
Oh,
I mean, I'm
God.
pretty happy with
No
Scrimshaw
chance.
as a teammate.
Yeah, the two of you, that'd be pretty crazy.
Or me and Adam Witt. We would clean house.
You and Adam would be awesome.
You would have to do the silver spray
Yes.
For Valhalla.
No,
what?
it's
For
Witness
him-
Me.
For him,
Yeah, I
I would
know.
do it
You're gonna lose the thing against Zipper now. You didn't even
Because
get that right.
No, I'm
I feel
not.
like he said it was like for it was like edible for cake decoration. So I
Mhm.
assume it tasted all right.
Well, Sully, you are more than welcome to hang out if you would like to as we talk about this next match.
like we can
Totally
keep
up to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not like we can
It's-
get
I
rid
got
of
better.
it if you want.
That's why I wanted
Look.
to offer.
Jake, I got better shit to do.
Wow. And you wonder why we don't bring you back. You wonder why we
Remember
don't
that first
ask
interview?
to bring you
You remember
back.
you guys' first interview where we hung out for like 2 hours, talked about the Schmoedown and
And how
lying?
innocent you were too. It was your first time on camera
Yeah.
too.
Now you're just a scoundrel.
He was a sweet, innocent baby boy.
He was
and
so
now-
nice, and now he just like he
What
just
happened?
turned. He just turned.
Look what happened.
He shed his skin, and now he's just fully embracing himself.
That's what
I don't like
does.
snakes; they freak me out.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Chuck, that is very true. But it's not like I can just kick him out because he has full control. So it's up to him whenever he wants to leave. But we're gonna move on as we talk.
I think I want to talk about the next match too.
All right.
That's because it's a faction member. So
Mhm.
let's get
Give you
into to Friday's match, and that is the first singles match of the year, and that is between Lady Justice herself, Marisol McKee, and Vinnie the Ice Pick, formerly of the Dungeon, and now for Winston and Swag. Very interesting match here. Obviously, we know what Marisol's gone through this offseason, becoming part of the Den, now being traded back to Corruption. And being that she has a full year ahead of her, she looks like someone who could really make an impact this season as a singles player, also as a teams division player once that happens. And Vinny's always been the guy that's kind of been on the cusp, right? He's always been there. He played well in the tournament last year. And he works in the industry, which is a big part of it. So what do we think about this match? Jill, since you haven't been here most of the show, I'll go ahead and start with you on this one. I know you're probably going to pick, but what do you think of the match?
I'm actually really excited for this matchup because I absolutely love and adore Vinny, and you all know my love and adoration for Marisol and Corruption and Deception. So I'm really excited that this one's going to be a fun one. Obviously, I'm going to go with Marisol on this one. A, because Corruption would slaughter me if I didn't pick Corruption. B, because I love Marisol and I think she can take this win. But this is going to be a fun one. I think both their characters playing off each other are going to be really interesting to see. But I've got Marisol taking this one.
It's a really good singles match to start the year off.
Yes,
Really, really
100%.
good. Good match. Brian, what about you?
I'm curious to see if Vinny kind of keeps that persona he had on the Dungeon to now
Nice.
Swag. I'm gonna go with Marisol on this one. I think she's gonna come out swinging. But I think this one's gonna be very close. It might.
I think
It
people
might-
underestimate Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny is not someone to underestimate, but I think Marisol is gonna come out on top on this one. I honestly feel like maybe even the first round decides this one. Whoever misses more in the first.
It's going to be interesting. This is the first player outside of what happened at the pay-per-view for Winston to play. How is the whole thing with what happened with Laura and then what happened with Chandru kind of going to continue through the faction? I think this is kind of be a big tell to what's going to happen with Winston and his faction going forward. Sully, do you have any words for the Ice Pick?
Yeah, I like the Ice Pick. He's a good guy. He likes a good margarita. What Chuck said, he looks good in denim. That's fine. I don't care if he looks better than me in denim. I look good in denim. He looks good in denim. That's all we need, Chuck. We don't need to bring everyone down here. Gosh, have a heart, Chuck. And now, as far as the match itself, I'm glad Harloff is giving Corruption a nice layup here.
Jesus.
Pair of layups in a row are always good for the team. Yeah, that's really how I see it. It's a layup. Am I getting the sports ball phrases right?
You are.
John, can you name that particular sports ball?
I don't know, baseball.
Cool.
Molly, what about you?
I'm so excited to see Marisol play again. I agree that Vinnie is very underrated and probably slips under a lot of people's radars, but I'm taking Marisol on this one. I hope Vinnie gives Winston some love in this match because he needs it. He needs a good hug. He just, someone needs to take him out and, buy him a nice dinner and maybe go get a couple's massage or something. Not like the two of them, but
Brian is ready with his prop.
Wow.
Is that just gonna be your corruption prop, Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If I had a way to turn off the lights, I would. Oh, I think I can. Yeah, that's
It
better.
doesn't do anything, but that's fine.
No, there's still.
looks
The
a
only
little
thing
more
that did
red.
is there's more glare on your posters.
He's turning off the 5 lamp. There you go.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. See?
That's
Brian, that's good. That's a better look for you.
Well, thank you. Less viewage of my face. Okay.
No, your face is great. We'll talk about the white balance on your camera later. We'll get you working.
Perfect. Thank
It
you.
really shows off the cool pop shelf you have.
Oh, thank you. I don't remember.
Everyone
I
else
think-
has glowing neon lights in their background. Why don't you?
I know. I like that.
Jill,
you have
we'll talk.
Molly
We'll
with.
get you working.
Yeah, fair.
You need some glowing neon lights here.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take Marisol as well. I think Vinnie puts up a big fight though. I think he does kind of show that he's able to play in a singles division outside of just teams. He did a little bit last year in the tournament, but I think that he really does put up a fight in the 3rd round. But I think Marisol ends up taking it and giving Corruption again some more points towards possibly repeating for 2021. But let's go ahead and move on to probably the biggest match this week, and that's the big pay-per-view. It's the number 1 contender match between Jeff Snyder and Dan Murrell here. The very first edition of Schmoedown Versus. We're getting one match on Friday evening. It's a live match between these two, and the winner is going to play Mr. Adam Collins for the singles belt. So we're getting going right away. We're getting going right away in this division, and we're seeing what everybody has. Obviously, Jeff Snyder played very well last year. Dan Murrell lost the belt at the very end of the year. I'll just go back around the opposite way here. Molly, why don't you kick us off? Who you thinking in this one?
Can I say, first of all, it's so weird to hear Dan Murrell's name in a contender match. It's just like, wait, no, those two don't.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Well, it's weird to see him without the belt on his shoulder. if I'm
Right,
being
right.
honest. Yeah.
He's the one without the belt in that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That's what's weird about it.
I mean, we saw the fire in Dan talking about coming back for that belt. And now that I am on his faction, it is real. He is the real deal. Like, he is ready to take that belt back. And I feel bad for Snyder that he has to face him, because Dan's gonna win that match. I mean,
Snyder's a very up and down player, so it could be scary.
yeah, I think he lets his emotions get to him, and that might affect his performance a little bit. But I think this is going to be a really, really close match, maybe even overtime. It's probably going to come down to just like that one thing that maybe it's another Dan and Mara song that they know.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I can't wait to watch this match, and I gotta go with Dan. Come on.
Is this a 5-rounder? Number 1 contenders, they're 5 rounders, correct?
Pretty sure.
You know,
Mine wasn't a 5 round.
You'd think we'd know this
Yeah.
by now, but Molly's wasn't a 5-rounder.
No.
That's what I was
think
wondering.
it's only.
Is it-
I think it's only like.
It's only the tournament.
I think it's
No,
only
I think it's
tournament
only
finals.
I want to say it's only singles and teams that the 5 rounders are for number 1 contenders.
Harloff,
Yeah,
if
I'm-
you're in the chat, can you let us know, please? Like, if
It's
you're
everyone's-
looking.
We're a little
Everyone's
unclear.
saying 3-rounder.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's a
I think it's
3-rounder.
a 3-rounder.
Okay.
Okay. I would love
That-
to see them play a 5-rounder, but that'll have to wait. till
That
the
might
title match,
change
so.
my answer then.
This just makes it easier for Dan. He doesn't have to worry about the speed round,
I'm
betting,
gonna
betting
take-
round.
I'm going to take a different stance here, Malls. So
Mall.
I love me some Jeff Snyder. Love me some Dan Murrell. I think the fact that it isn't a 5-rounder is what maybe gives Jeff a slight edge here. Dan Murrell, as we've seen in the past, is much better in a 5-round match than a 3-round match. He loses very rarely in a 3-round match. He lost to Andrew Guy, he loses very rarely in a 5-round match, and yet he lost to Andrew Guy in a 3-rounder. Now, that was him coming back. He had ring rust, what have you. I still think it will be Dan Murrell, but I think it will be a lot closer, and I think that I will have zero shock if Jeff Snyder pulls it out. Now, my personal bias here, right? I would rather Dan Murrell win so that Adam Collins can put him in his place again. Because ultimately, once you beat Dan Murrell twice, we can stop questioning how good as Adam Collins was last season. Look, Adam Collins will put whoever wins this in their place. Adam Collins will not lose the belt this season. That's it.
Is Adam Collins the Alex Damon of the singles division?
I think Adam Collins is the Alex Damon of the singles division.
Someone has to beat Adam at some point.
Do they
I'm
know?
saying the same. Yeah, you're right. Someone has to beat Alex at some point.
You're right. And it has to be one of us.
It only took 3 years for that to potentially happen.
We're all saying it all the time. It's gonna happen eventually, right?
It's bound to happen.
Right?
Question mark.
And then it doesn't. And we're like, and Christian's like, ugh.
Here we go again.
I mean, heck, Alex might just lose it just so he can play the tournaments a few times.
You know what? That's funny. I've heard him joke about that, but I don't think
He would not do that though. He wouldn't
Never.
throw a match just to be in a tournament. No matter how bad he wants to be in a tournament, he would want to keep that belt more.
That man has too much pride to throw a match.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Brian, what about you in this one?
For a second there, I forgot what we were even talking about. I'm going to go with Dan on this one. But Sean does make a very good point.
Sean made
No,
the point
I made that point and still went with Dan. So
I know, but your point of the fact that it's not 5 and it's 3, it does come into a factor. I mean,
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
A lot of Dan's matches are 5, not 3. So there's not that room for error. Not that I'm saying Dan's gonna just drop questions everywhere, but you don't have much room to gain on a 3 compared to a 5. So I'm picking Dan.
Jill?
I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna say exactly what Sean said. If it was a 5-rounder, I would pick Dan because we've seen that Jeff does not have the best speed rounds. His speed round has not been that great of a showing. But in a 3-round, I think Jeff can surprise people and take the win on this. I think this is a really tough one for me to pick just because they're both really amazing, and I think people forget just how good Jeff Snyder is. Like, in my opinion, he's one of the best players of all time. Like, especially probably the best teams player of all time for sure. I think I want to go different just because I want to be different. I think I'm going to go with Jeff Snyder.
I like it. I mean, I'm very close to picking Snyder too. I think that
It's going to be
come
hard
down.
For him to win, but
yeah, I think that it'll come down to Dan having to answer his 5-point question to beat him.
100%.
I think there will be a slip up at some point in the game between one of them, and it's not going to end up in a overtime type of match. But Dan is going to have to answer his 5-pointer, and I'm picking Dan solely because I think that Dan and Adam could be like the next giant rivalry in the Schmoedown after what happened.
They could be the old Roca Murrell rivalry.
It could go on for a long, play back and forth, maybe swapping the titles or play for like a year or two, just upping one another. Especially with how many tournaments and matches there are these days, they could play a lot against each other. And it'll be very cool to see. And so and like Molly said, I really do think that Dan, now that everything that happened with the exchange this past season with Roca, it's a different type of Dan. He's he's a lone wolf, but he's not a lone wolf. The fact that he has the dungeon behind him, but he doesn't have the Rokas behind him. He doesn't have the 5 horsemen behind him like he did the past couple of years. And he has that chip. He's going to have that chip on his shoulder, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see. And like we've been talking about, it's I have all the confidence in the world that Snyder can pull it off. I'm just wondering, is there something that's going to make him slip? Does he get a bad category, like an IG category that he just knows nothing about? Does he get opponent's choice? I don't even know if that's going to be on the wheel, but is there going to be something that really affects him?
Championship match, so
opponents would be. I do want to point out, someone else brought this up in the chat. IG categories are on the wheel now.
Yep.
If
gives
Jeff
Dan a
hits
little
the
bit of an
IG
edge.
category, it's game over.
Yeah, Dan 100% has the edge in that cat. And so if Dan either lands on it or if Jeff lands on it, then that's the game.
If Jeff,
Jeff
gets an IG slice, it's done. No, game over.
But it also depends. Jeff might be great at something like Jurassic Park.
That's true. That's very true.
But if it's only if it's a Jurassic Park slice, though, and who knows if that's going to be on the wheel.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what's on there. It definitely depends on what's on there.
If it's a Harry Potter or an MCU, it's done.
Either way, it's gonna be a lot of fun to see. I mean, the fact that this is the first versus match, Snyder, Murrell, it's been a match a lot of people are wanting for a long time. After the way Snyder played last year and then ended up losing to Collins to play Murrell, it seems like right now at this moment in time that these 3 are kind of the 3 people at the top, and everyone is really chasing them. It's gonna be fun to see. It's definitely going to be fun to see. All right, Jill, real quick, actually, did you want to give your thoughts on Jesse Swift and Amaru since you weren't here?
Sure. Sorry I was late, by the way. Like I said in my group text, I woke up and dreamt that I set up my stuff, but apparently I was dreaming and I didn't actually do that. Amaru was the number 1 pick, wasn't he?
Number 2 overall.
Number 2 overall draft pick. That's scary to go up against. But I've heard a lot of hype over Jesse Swift. I've heard a lot of hype over him. I think I might be with Brian on this one. I'm gonna plead the 5th just because. I know. I'm sorry, but I think I'm gonna be. What's funny is I think I'm gonna be doing that a lot this season, just because there's so many new rookies, and I don't know anything about them other than Amaru was number 2 draft pick, and I believe in the Fan League 4 as well.
Yep.
Fan League 4. He's Fan League 4 too.
Was Jesse a Fan League competitor, or is he just?
Nope. He's straight from audition tape.
I would maybe give Amaru the slight edge just because he has that Fan League background. But for Jesse to get picked with no tape behind him for people to see, like, that's also a huge accomplishment. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I'm excited that one of the first... I know I'm lame. I'm sorry. I'm excited that one of the first matches out of the gate is 2 rookies that we've never seen before.
It's a great match. I mean, these 3 matches this week, well, technically these 4 are like, what a week in Schmoedown. Like, my goodness. So it's going to be fun either way. Sean, did you have any thoughts on that match? Or did you already give your thoughts? Whatever, right? Okay, fair enough. All right.
Are they corruption? No, then who cares?
No, I mean, rookies, give them a match and then we'll talk.
Okay,
let's see how they do, then we'll talk.
Fair enough. All right, well, that's going to wrap up the show today. Let's just go and go around real quick and do some plugs. Molly, I'll start with you because you're going to be back on the internet in about 30 minutes if you want to plug that.
Yeah, I'm going to be on with Video Drew live in the dark. I've never done her show before. I'm very excited. My faction mate, Video Drew. So that should be a good time.
It's great.
I feel like I need to make my room darker, put on like a black robe.
For that eyeliner we talked about earlier, maybe.
Yeah, just be ready. Danny is in fact a human crow hybrid.
Yeah, I've heard. I have a lot of questions there.
If you want to get in good graces with Danny, tell him I said hello. He's a big fan.
Oh, okay.
Subtle
if you're lying, then I'm coming for you.
I promise.
If that makes him hate me, then
Sean Sullivan. Oh, boo.
Be careful,
with
Molly.
his beautiful Brazilian accent, he'll tell you how wonderful I am.
Be careful, Molly. You've said her name twice. One more, and she might appear.
Still appear.
She was in the chat earlier. She was in the
was.
chat
She
earlier.
She was.
And then yeah. So can they find you anywhere else online, Molly? Before we head out?
No, nowhere.
No.
Nowhere.
Figures. That's a Sean move. Sean, can they find you anywhere else online?
Yeah, I was about to go live on Twitch, and then I realized you guys were live talking about this, so I showed up. So yeah, in about 15 minutes, I'll be live, twitch.tv/Sean Sully. I'm going to be doing some painting of some creepy
Little men.
monsters.
Yes.
Nice.
Little men.
My favorite.
Creepy monsters.
Okay, good to know.
Creepy monsters.
And Jill.
Find me here. Julie Marie, 2 I's, 2 E's, Twitter and Instagram. Also, March 20th, we will be having our St. Patrick's Day episode of Happy Hour. I think Sean is.
I don't have the image, but I was going to post it on Twitter tomorrow.
That's
so.
fine. Yeah. I think Sean is still
Focus.
trying to perfect our
There we go.
cocktail for that night.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow.
Okay. I mean,
You guys have 3 weeks to do it. So I mean-
Yeah.
I thought the other, but we're both off tomorrow. We took the day off tomorrow too.
We need to
Oh,
do a
nice,
lot of
nice.
practice tests.
We do exactly like
Yeah.
this drink. I don't mind taking more practice.
Maybe
tests.
we'll get on a call. Maybe Molly and I and Jill will get on a call, and we'll just have a bunch of practice.
I actually
for-
kind of
for the
the
show.
drink that I've seen. I actually would
I think you'll like it.
participate.
I will tell you this: it is dangerous. There is whiskey,
Mm.
Yes.
and there is chocolate and whipped cream.
It's quite good.
That sounds just dangerous enough for my taste.
I think I had 1.5 last time, and I was solid.
Brian, what about you?
Brandy, we've seen your bar.
I did give Brandy the preliminary recipe.
Oh, nice.
That's fine.
After we saw all those mugs that she has, Brandy is allowed to get the preliminary.
Absolutely.
recipe.
I'm quite fond of that box one. If you want to plug that too, Sean, go for it.
Oh yeah, last week we did a great episode of Box over on the PJ Campbell Network. Go check that out. It is not safe for work, so do not watch it with work. Do not watch it with your kids. We had Brandon Hanna and Sabrina Ramirez on there. They were wonderful guests, big fans of our show. So we allowed them to come on.
We allowed them.
Yeah, we learned a lot about Brandon and Sabrina and their relationship. Just go watch it.
It's brilliant. It's so brilliant.
If you're a fan of multicolored things, then
We also had
Guillermo del Toro, if you're
we
a
also
fan.
had another guest in the beginning who is also a
Uh-huh.
Schmoedown competitor, a member of the Mercs.
Mhm.
A very high
Profile.
He's very
High
high.
profile.
He's
I
also
was like,
usually
very high.
Oh yeah,
very
yeah,
high
that
member
too.
of the Mercs.
He's also just very high sometimes.
That's true. All right, you can find POV on Twitter at Schmoedown POV right up there. Streamlabs right up there. The Patreon link down there. We just did our watch along to Always Be My Maybe for February's watch along. We'll be doing one here at the end of March for this month. If you guys are interested, monthly hangouts, more reactions, Q&As. Q&A will be tomorrow. For those of you who are asking us questions, tomorrow is the last day to ask questions.
get them in.
You also get involvement in Happy Hour if you want to be a part of the Patreon as well. You can find me at Qui-Gon Jake 2 Ns because someone else took it before I did. Over on Apocalypse Movies multiple times a week. A couple times a week playing Squadrons with Sully on his Twitch. And a lot of other places as well. So again, guys, you'll see us multiple times a week going forward. We're doing reactions again. You'll see us on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and some Fridays. Not all Fridays, but some Fridays. And we'll be playing along and reacting to matches. But until then, for Brian, Jill, Sully, Molly, and myself, we are POV. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight, and we will see you guys next time.